Yay! Baby's head down. Yay! Hey, I'm Timotha Lanae, indie artist, health enthusiast, and a new mom. And I share videos on health, music, and mommyhood. So if any of those things interest you, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. So let's dive right into today's topic, breech baby turning, success stories, and some new tips. So I posted a video, if you haven't seen it, I posted it when I was 34 weeks pregnant. It was called How I Turned My Breech Baby in One Day. And I literally flipped my breech baby in one day. It was confirmed by a second ultrasound. And in that video, I shared 7 tips of how I flipped the baby. That video has gotten a lot of views, and there's been a lot of other moms that have also had success turning their breech babies. And when they either message me privately or when they comment down below, they would share other things that they did. Make sure that after this video, you go and check out my first video on breech baby turning, how I flipped my breech baby in one day. This idea actually came to me today to do this video of success stories because I received a really sweet private message on Facebook from a mom that had success, and she just wanted to thank me. And then she also told me some of the things that she did to help flip her baby and which tips worked for her. So it just inspired me to do a quick update video to encourage moms that are going through it right now, because trust me, girl, I know how that feels. It's just such a nerve-wracking thing, but it will be all right. Whether baby turns or not, just trust, take a deep breath, and just let go, let God. So let's just dig right into this message that I received today that inspired me to actually do this video. So since it's a private message, I'm not going to share her name, but I will post the message down below as I read. It says, "Hey, fabulous mama. Hey girl, just wanted to thank you. I saw your YouTube on flipping breech baby. I'm 34 weeks, found out Friday baby was breech and she had flipped by Monday with your tips and tricks. Hallelujah, praise the Lord." That's so cute. Thank you for sharing. P.S. Your baby girl is precious. Oh, thank you. Well, I also asked, we messaged back and forth a little bit, and I just said, which of the tips that I shared helped you? Which tips did you do? And so she responded, I did all of them. I found out on Friday afternoon and started the tips and tricks Friday night, and then by Monday afternoon, when I went back to the doctor, she was head down. So that's just a great encouragement to know that in, about 48 hours, that her baby turned head down in that amount of time. Thank you so much for just taking the time out to shoot me a message and let me know that you actually had success with the tips and tricks that I shared. It means a lot, because my whole purpose for this is to try to help others, because I know that feeling you get when something's not right with your pregnancy. And if there's anything that I can do, something as simple as just posting what worked for me, I want to do it. That's one success story. Let's move on to the next. So this comment was really encouraging and interesting to me. It's from Meg Schultz. And so it's pretty detailed, but there's a lot of good information in here and some new tips. So it says, I found out my baby was breech on my due date. It scared me because I'm 40 years old and need to avoid C-section. Baby was head down for the last couple months straight. This is my 8th baby. Ooh, she's blessed. She has 8 children. That's a blessing. So this is my 8th baby. Never had breech issues before, even in my other pregnancies. So this was very unusual for me and out of the blue. For about a week before the breech was confirmed, I just didn't feel right. That's interesting. Yeah, I had some of those issues too. Not necessarily where I didn't feel right, but my belly looked weird. And I didn't know that meant she was breech, but my belly, the way it just looked strange. It was really it was her head. I didn't realize that, but it was kind of bulging funny on the top. But okay, back to this. But so for about a week before the breech was confirmed, I just didn't feel right. I couldn't get good sleep. I was on and off, nauseous a few times, lots of back spasms and lower back sacral joint grinding pain, noticeable Braxton Hicks and contractions. Essential oils were actually the cause of the breech, and they were also the cure. I'll explain. I watched your video in a panic on my due date with some other videos. The point that stuck out to me was your point about using essential oils of mint and frankincense. And so if you watch my video, you'll see that I talk about babies don't like the smell of peppermint or frankincense. So if you put the frankincense and peppermint essential oil on the top of your belly where the baby's head is, if it's breech, then the baby won't like that smell, and it will maybe encourage them to turn away from the smell. So that was the tip that she's referring to. So the point that stuck out to me was your point about using essential oils of mint and frankincense. I didn't have any. I only had a mixed oil, which I loved the smell. It is not On Guard, but it smells similar. So it's probably thieves oil. That's what On Guard is. I use doTERRA oils, and thieves oil is also the same smell as On Guard. I had been putting the oil on my lower abdomen for stretch marks. So she had been putting the oil down below on her lower belly for stretch marks, and on my lower back because I got a spider bite there. After I used the oil a couple days on my lower torso, baby flipped head up, breech. It was your video that made me realize that was the original cause of the breech. As you said, it was the cure, but it didn't seem that would actually work. But that was when I realized I had been using essential oils down low, so I put coconut oil on my upper belly from my ribs halfway down to my navel, along with the same essential oils that the baby didn't like. So she, instead of now before she was putting the essential oil that the baby didn't like down below to try to get rid of stretch marks, but once she saw my video, she realized, oh, maybe the baby turned breech because she didn't like that smell. So instead, she put a little coconut oil there, which can be like a carrier oil. Fractionated coconut oil is a good way to protect your skin from, strong oils like thieves oil or On Guard and peppermint. So she put a little coconut oil there, and then also the same oil that the baby did not like the smell of. She put that on the upper abdomen where the baby's head was because the baby was breech. Get it? Got it? Good. All right. So I put coconut oil on my upper belly from my ribs halfway down to my navel, along with the same essential oils. And that evening, I did that evening, and by morning, my midwife came back the very next day, and baby had flipped without me knowing it. I had also inverted for 3 hours, switching positions, including knees on bed, elbows or hands on floor, laying my butt on an inclined stack of pillows with head back and angled down to help baby get out of the pelvis area. Right and left sides with hip and torso on pillow, with shoulders on bed and belly hanging off pillow to stretch belly and make room for baby to turn. So, okay, let's break this down, because this is actually an addition to the tip that I had in my original video, which was the inverted pose, where you would put pillows or something underneath your pelvis and then lay inverted so that your head is, there's a lot of pressure on your head, but it's also pressure on baby's head, and it makes the baby want to turn. So if you think about how you're feeling with laying like this with your head down here and your legs up here, you don't like that feeling, neither does baby. So that's what she's referring to. But she did some additional things with her inverted pose. Instead of just laying on her back inverted, she also laid on her side, on each side, left and right. So, but still inverted to allow the baby to feel like it had more space, and also she said to kind of like stretch her tummy. So that's something interesting. So laying not just on your back, but also turning, laying on your left side, still inverted with pillows under your hips on your bed, and then on your right side with pillows under your hips, still inverted. That's interesting, and I think that's a really good idea. So ladies, take notes. She did this 3 hours. So I had also inverted for 3 hours, switching positions, including knees on bed, elbows or hands on floor. So the other thing she would do is put her knees on her bed. So picture that, knees on her bed, elbows on the floor. So that's another inverted thing that she did. So she did a lot of variations of inverted, more so than just putting pillows under her pelvis. So one thing I want to say, women, ladies, mommies, be careful when you do these. So with the knees on bed and elbows on floor, just be careful you don't slip onto baby. That could be a little dangerous if you're not careful. You do not want to fall forward on your belly. Just for safety, I'd be a little concerned, so maybe you want to do that with somebody in the room. But if you feel pretty, stable and you want to try that, that's cool. But my inverted suggestion is just to lift your hips up with pillows underneath, and then lay on your back so that you don't have if you have knees on the bed and then your elbows on the floor, if anything happens and your knees fall and you fall on the baby, that's my only concern with that. But I definitely like the idea of laying sideways with your hips raised by the pillow. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So let's move on. Hope you guys are taking notes on these. Also, we rubbed my belly with coconut oil in circles, one direction and then circles another direction. So that's a new tip. So using coconut oil, rubbing in one direction and then rubbing in another direction, helping the baby understand the movement and kind of get in that flow and that rhythm. So I think that that's a good idea too. My hubby played soothing music from his phone towards my belly. That's something that we talked about in the other video, putting music down below so the baby can hear and the baby might be encouraged to turn. And then also rubbed his warm hand right above my pelvic bone and talked up the vaginal area to our baby. Laugh out loud. Come down. Anything to get the baby to turn, you feel me? So also, I didn't flip baby, but I put pressure on one side of the head to encourage baby to flip to the right until baby was halfway there. So she put pressure on one side of the head, so she probably is just using her hand and pushing down on one side of the head. And I did the same to the other side later that day to encourage baby to flip. Okay, yeah. So I spent 3 hours in afternoon and 3 hours in evening doing this. So she was dedicated. That's what you got to do. You got to be dedicated. Put oil on belly right before bed. Felt baby flipping in the middle of the night. Woke me up. Felt it side to side, but thought it went halfway, then went back. So she thought it started to turn, but then it went back. But by the morning, the midwife said baby was head down. Yay, baby's head down. Yay. I think baby flipped at night, and probably did because you're resting and it's just kind of a relaxing environment, lots of open space. So I believe keeping my hips above my shoulders for 3 hours twice that day for baby to get out of the pelvis made lots of stretched room for baby to flip easy. And then the oils on the top of the belly gave baby motivation to get her face away, or his or her face, or get face away from the oils. And massaging baby to right and left encouraged baby to remember. I like that, to remember it could move positions and flip around. That's a good way to look at it. Get baby to remember you can move. You don't have to be stuck in this position. I think that's very accurate. Really good observation. It worked. Never thought it would. Your video helped me realize essential oils were the cause and also the cure. I love that. I'm done with essential oils in pregnancy. Thanks so much. Oh, I also did ice on top of my belly twice at noon and night, about 20 minutes each. Thanks. She did pretty much all the tips. The ice pack on the top of where the head is, because the baby doesn't like the cold, so it'll want to go somewhere warm. The other thing is to put something warm on the bottom, something cold on top, so the baby wants to go to the warmth. So she did a lot of the tips, plus added on to and expanded the tips and made it her own, and her baby flipped. So congrats, Meg, and thank you so much for taking time to write such a detailed comment that just helps all the mommies out. I did say in that video, let us know what you did and if it works so that we can help each other. And she did that. And she really took her time to make sure that we understood what she did, how she was able to get her baby to turn. So thank you so much, Meg. Wishing you all the blessings for you and your little babies. Okay, I'll just do a couple more. That was the longest one, and I thought it had a lot of really cool tips, so hopefully you all got those. So here's another quick one. This is from Baby Bear, and it's just from 3 weeks ago. It says, my baby's head down now. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you so much for letting me know baby turned. It can work, ladies. It can work. Just don't give up. Don't lose hope. I'll just do a couple more short ones. It says, baby flipped. Thank you so much. Only 36 weeks, but baby is 6 pounds, 9 ounces. So I was scared of missing space for him to move. tiny body, laugh out loud. So she must be small frame and then has a big baby right now. A lot of the tips in the video that I did, how I turned my breech baby in one day, talk about how to create space for the baby. So part of it, I have a tip called sit like a trucker. So we like to be ladylike most of the time, but in this tip I'm saying, girl, uncross your legs, make some space for the baby to move. So sit like a trucker with your legs wide open like that. And then you can lean forward to let your belly kind of rest in that space, and the baby can feel that there's more space just from the gravity of leaning forward. If you are small body framed and everything's compacted and your baby's already kind of big, like her baby was pretty big at 36 weeks, 6 pounds 9 ounces. Some babies are born at 6 pounds 9 ounces, so that's pretty big already. So that's really good news that she was able to get baby to turn even in a small frame with a pretty large baby at 36 weeks. So congrats, Fanny. That's Fanny Boisvert, I believe that's how you say it. So I asked Fanny, which things did you do? She said, I did the ice pack, the yoga ball, and the child pose. I also tried to give him as much space as possible during the night. We all tend to curl ourselves in fetal position, very true, when we sleep, and I realized that when I sleep straight, he is less kicking my ribs. So when she slept straight, he had more space, so he wasn't crunched up and kicking her ribs. And in that case, he was pushing his head in my rib cage, and it's very unpleasant. Yeah. So that's good. So ice pack, yoga ball, child pose, and then gave more space for the baby while she was sleeping at night. So really good. Thanks for sharing that, Fanny. Congrats on baby. So you're 36 weeks. That was 3 weeks ago. Baby could be here by now, or maybe one more week if you make it to 40 weeks. Whatever the case is, God bless, and thanks so much for sharing. All you moms that have a breech baby, our mindset. We need to change our mindset from anxiety and stressed about the baby being breech, because that's our default. We find out the baby is breech, we just get tense, we get stressed. The baby can feel that. So it's more just trusting your body, trusting baby to instinctually do what it's meant to do, and just taking deep breaths, visualizing baby turning head down, understanding that if baby does not turn, everything can still be okay. You just might have a C-section, but knowing that it's not the end of the world. So once I had that mentality and I just let go and I just relaxed, I could just feel the stress start to leave my body, and baby stayed head down, and I just didn't have the same fear that I had. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. I am a songwriter, an indie artist, a music producer. So some of the things that I do is create music. While I was pregnant and preparing for having the baby, I would listen to a lot of soothing kind of like visualization, meditation type music, just to kind of relax myself. And so let me know if you'd like for me to create some music like that for you to just have streaming, like 4-hour music. I do have on my channel a 4-hour baby sleep music song I composed for my little baby at 4 months old when she was in a sleep regression. I composed this and I would put it on play. It's on my YouTube channel. It was there for 4 hours, and she would just listen to it. It would calm her down to help her sleep during her sleep regression. So let me know if you'd like for me to create some music that is more for mommies and for birthing and for preparing and meditating and visualizing the beautiful natural birth that you would like. Birth music, to have playing while you're laboring music. I would love to do that. If that's something that you all want, just give this video a like and comment below and let me know. Make sure you go and check out my other video, how I turned my breech baby in one day, and also the update to that video that gives more tips. And definitely subscribe. I post videos every week on mommyhood and music and health and wellness. And so once you have this baby, it'll be helpful to subscribe to the channel so you can watch the videos on how to keep baby healthy and how to keep you healthy, because it's been a journey, but it's been a beautiful journey. So thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. And I will see you next week. Take care.